Are you a hard gainer?
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to put on muscle?
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna tell you how to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Zach here, and this video is made for all of you out there that were like me, a hard gainer, not able to put on weight. No matter how much you work out, no matter how much you eat, you stay skinny, you stay scrawny, and you just can't put on that muscle that you really want to put on. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some tips that have helped me when it comes to how to eat if you're a hard gainer. Let's get it. So we're going to talk about supplements a little bit later on in this video, but first, let's talk about some real food. We got this very special, it's backwards, we got this very special, delicious anabolic protein shakes and smoothies recipe book that uses fruits, protein powders, ways that can get you more food, more calories, more protein, more carbs into your diet, because that's the key when it comes to gaining size. Right? You can train all day long, but if you're not eating enough, you're not gonna put on weight. So smoothies, protein shakes, supplements can help you get to that level where you're consuming enough food. And it also comes with a free shaker cup. I mean, if you got a blender, just use that, throw some fruits in, make it even more of a calorie dense meal. But hey, check out that pinned comment down below. You get this free delicious protein shake and smoothies recipe book and a free shaker cup. Now let's talk about how to gain some size if you're a hard gainer. First thing, what do you want to prioritize when you're eating food? Regardless of whether you're trying to lose weight or trying to gain weight, protein should always be your priority. High quality protein sources, right? What does that mean? That means good quality meats, steak, eggs, chicken, fish, right? Obviously we can get into the grass-fed, wild-caught, pasture-raised, but we're not talking about that now. We just want to know to prioritize protein. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, then it's going to be a little harder for you to get that protein, to get those calories in, but it's still possible. It just takes a lot more effort, right? Make sure that when you're consuming proteins, they're complete. They have all the essential amino acids, which means, you know, rice and beans. That comes together and makes a complete protein. So you just have to tweak things a little bit, but make sure protein is your priority. What's the second macronutrient that you should be prioritizing? This is where it differs. If you're trying to gain weight, it's gotta be carbs, right? The reason why it has to be carbs, even though it only has 4 calories per gram of carb, just like a protein, is because it's not as satiating, right? If you eat a bunch of protein, you're gonna get full, you're not gonna eat as much. If you eat a lot of fat, good fat, you're gonna get full and you're not gonna eat as much. But you can eat all types of clean carbs and just keep eating, keep eating. It's not as satiating as protein or fat. And carbs are a key ingredient in muscle synthesis. You need that glycogen to be able to be stored in your muscles to gain that size and fuel your workouts. If you're trying to lose weight, you want to prioritize fat after protein, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about gaining weight. So eat enough protein, eat good, clean carbs. What are some examples? Sweet potatoes, white rice, oats. Right, before I film, I have a big bowl of oatmeal. These guys know me here. I bring my big bowl of oatmeal. They're like, oh, yep, Zach's here to film. Eat your oats, eat your rice, potatoes, carbs in general. Get good carbs, prioritize your protein, and then fats in moderation because they fill you up. Also, a big question is, how many times should I eat in a day? And this is where we talk about intermittent fasting, right? I think that's a big fad right now. Intermittent fasting is the craze. And if you're trying to lose weight, I think it's a useful strategy for some people because, I mean, essentially all you're doing is skipping a meal. So by skipping a meal, you're gonna eat less. But intermittent fasting is not fasting, right? You're not getting the benefits of actual fasting because the benefits don't come until the second day when your gastric secretions stop. But we're not talking about fasting. But know that if you're trying to gain weight, don't be doing intermittent fasting, right? Don't worry about eating in your little window. If you want to fast, do a prolonged fast, a 1-day, 2-day, maybe even a 3-day fast. But don't be doing this intermittent fasting. It's going to be nearly impossible for you to get the amount of food that you need to get in a 8-hour window or so. It's not impossible, I don't want to clarify that, but it's going to make it a lot harder. Now, a big problem when it comes to trying to eat enough to gain weight for hard gainers is sometimes you feel like you're just stuffing your face. You're not hungry, but you're like, I gotta eat, I gotta gain this weight, so you just feed yourself when you're not hungry. Now, this is not necessarily a healthy practice to do, because if your body's not craving food, if you're not feeling like digesting food, guess what? You shouldn't eat at that time. So what can you do to not be doing that? Well, that's what we talk about training. We're gonna talk about that in another video, but you wanna make sure you're doing compound exercises and you're training intense, right? You're going into the gym and you're crushing it, or you're doing your calisthenics and you're crushing it, and that will activate your appetite. It will be easier for you to eat the amount of food that you need to eat if you're training your body right. And this is where we talk about supplements, because the first question people ask is, what supplement should I take? I say that's not the first question you should ask, but it is a valid question. What supplements should you take? Well, if you need to get all this food in and it's hard for you, then getting a high quality protein powder can be a useful tool in your arsenal. Also, if you're trying to gain some size, not only size, but strength as well, and speed, creatine monohydrate. Stay away from all the new age stuff that they keep coming out with. Good old fashioned creatine monohydrate. You don't even need to do the loading phase if you don't want to. Just take it every day consistently. Not only will you be a little bit bigger, your muscles will be saturated with this creatine and this water, but you also be stronger, and it's also healthy for your brain. So creatine monohydrate, great supplement if you're trying to gain weight. Mass gainers. There's a lot of mass gainers on the market today, and most of them are filled with junk, right? So if you're gonna do a mass gainer, pay the extra money, get a good clean one, right? The best choice would be to get something that uses tapioca maltodextrin, as well as other sources of the carbs and the protein in the mass gainer. And then you also don't want to use it as a meal replacement. Never use supplements as a meal replacement. Eat your real food, and then let's say you're going to bed, you're like, yo, I need to get some more in. Take your mass gainer. But don't ever replace real food with supplements if you're trying to gain weight or if you're trying to lose weight. Real food, nothing compares. I mean, that's why it's called a supplement, not a replacement. Thank you, Jared. Now, if you have problems and you don't know where to start with making protein shakes or mass gainer shakes, like I said before, and I'm gonna say again, check out that link down below for this recipe book talking about delicious anabolic protein shakes and smoothies, right? We'll open up to a random page. We got cookies and cream. 1 serving, 1 cup unsweetened almond milk or liquid of your choice. BioTrust vanilla cream protein powder. Use your own protein powder if you want. Oats, Greek style yogurt, crushed ice. Simple. Check it out. Get your calories, get your mass in. Link down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Coach Zach, and I'll see you next time. Yeah.